was sick, so I had to rush home and work from home and look after him, and I could really go for a nap. But I've got two classes first.
Wow.
So good to see all you guys showing up. So far we have Edson. Hello, Edson. How are you? Edson's the strong silent type. Okay. Denelson again. So Denelson, are you still living in Brazil?
Yes, I'm still living here.
Same company?
Same company, same work, same house, same wife, same kids. All the same.
Yes, I get that. Awesome. Well, my child is a lot older now.
Yeah, I can imagine. Maybe he is, how can I say, walking. I don't know how can I say it in English.
He's
Like
running.
running. Yeah, running.
Running.
Good.
Yeah, not
Nice.
walking, running.
Nice.
Well, really good to have you back. I haven't seen you in a long time, and it's good having you in class today. So a lot of my regulars are here. That's great. And Anna, I haven't seen you in over a month.
Hello, Simon.
How are
It's
you?
good to see you again. I don't know. I, our schedule doesn't fit one another, I guess.
Well, I've had a tough couple of months. My son's in daycare, so he's getting sick a lot. And when he's sick, I generally don't teach because I don't know if I have to go up and see him. Like he's better now, so I don't have to worry about it. But that's why I haven't booked any classes for tomorrow, the day after, or Saturday yet because I don't know how he is. So in the last 3 weeks, I haven't taught many classes at all. But I'm back. Carolina, hello. Okay, your microphone's not working too.
Hello. Yes.
How are you?
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm good.
I am doing well, and you?
Just a little tired. Just a little tired. That's all.
No.
Oh, we're filling up. This is going to be good. We're going to have fun today, guys. And Wellington, welcome, Wellington. Hello, Wellington. All right, guys, make sure your microphones are working because some of you I'm just not hearing. I'm going to go ahead and get started because I want to give you guys the most amount of talk time. So I call this describe what you see, but I'm going to change it a little bit. It's not so much that I want you to describe what you see. I want you to describe what comes to mind when you see the image that I show you. And instead of showing you each a separate image, I'm going to show you the same image. Now for some of you, that's a benefit because you get to refresh your vocabulary as you hear other students speak unless you're the first person. And where this also helps you is your vocabulary, to be able to provide rich descriptions. What I like to ask you guys to do is to describe what you see in your mind the same way that you would read a book, very rich descriptions. So I'm going to get started now. If you guys are not speaking, please keep yourself on mute so there's no disruptions because noises in the background can really be disruptive for students that are speaking. All right, Yenny, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, teacher.
Excellent. Where are you from, Yenny?
I'm from Colombia.
Excellent. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 minutes of time, and when your time is up, you're going to hear this sound.
Okay.
Okay? Or my battery will die. I've got 22 minutes left. We'll see how well that goes. But you've got 2 minutes, and I don't want you to feel you have to rush through it. Take your time. You see the image before you, and I want you to describe what comes to your mind when you see this. Now, maybe it's a memory. Maybe it's a movie you've seen, or maybe it's something in the future, a trip you want to take, or something you want to see. So your time starts now, Yenny, so go ahead and describe what comes to mind when you look at this image.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, you've got 1 minute 45 seconds left. Jenny?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you've got 1.5 minutes left. You're not saying anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I understood that I have 2 minutes, 2 minutes to think about the image and then talk about it. Sorry.
No, you got to think on your feet. So you got 1 minute left. Tell me what you think about, or what comes to mind when you see this image.
Okay. Come to my mind a peaceful place. I can imagine the cold in maybe difficult to find an animal or living there.
Because of the harsh climate.
Uh-huh. A quiet place to.
It is certainly a very quiet and peaceful place. Thank you very much. Okay, we go to Raphael. Hello, sir.
Hello, Simon.
Well, Raphael, from a warm country of Brazil, I have no idea what comes to mind when you see this image, but would you care to, you've got 2 minutes. Care to elaborate, sir?
Remind me that the holiday season is coming up, and we have a lot of things to do. And remember a little bit of family reunion and for a great time with my family and friends, and sharing gifts and presents. And it reminds me, I wish it would be one place like this before, because I live in a warm country and it's very difficult to get to visit one of these places. And maybe in the future I would travel to the northern hemisphere, maybe I don't know, Sweden, or being north of Canada, why not, or Russia, to get to see places like this, to be in contact with snowy temperatures. And it seems to be very fun. Although I'm not used to such a warm clothing, but I have to change my wardrobe because I don't have any kind of clothes like to warm clothes, because I'm not used to use it. But it's, yes, of course we have in the southern Brazil as well. There's a lot of some regions in the winter, but not like this in the picture, I think. It's a little warmer and milder temperature. It seems to be a great place to be, and we inspire a lot of things and good thoughts, I think. That's it.
I've got memories of a place like this too. And I might even show you guys some photos in a little bit, but I don't want to do too much talking. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And I promise you I'll tell you some nice stories. All right, thank you very much, Raphael. Manolo, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Manolo. When you see this image shared on the screen, what do you think about?
Well, I think it's a very good place to ski. Well, I think it's very beautiful and a delightful place. Well, when I've been in this kind of weather, I did like this. So I think it's very cold and might be a good place only for running around for some minutes, but it's not a ideal place to be a lot of time, because maybe it could be too cold to be there. And well, despite of the fact that can't be a lot of animals live in this kind of weather. I think there are some people that they live there in the conditions with their ancestor. They should thought them to live in this place.
Thank you. So you would see fewer animals here in this climate than you would in, let's say, a tropical climate. It's a harsh habitat, and I live in this climate. Doesn't look like this right now, but it will. All right, Manolo, thank you very much. Next we have Edson. Hello, Edson. What comes to mind when you see this image? Edson, you've got 1 minute 50 seconds left. Okay, Edson, we cannot hear you, so I'm going to go on to the next student. You might want to try restart your connection. Denison.
Okay.
What comes to mind when you see this, Denison?
Okay, it reminds me when I went to Vancouver City in Canada in 2010. The weather in that time was like that, less than degrees. For me, it was like terrible because I'm from Brazil and the weather is totally different. So, but I had a good time there, enjoying with friends that I made there, and we tried some snowboard, and it was very fun. And the same time, I was trying to learn my first words in English, so it was funny too because I couldn't explain the emotion in the language that people can understand myself, and it was the mix of a lot of emotions. I mean, I'm happy at the same time. I'm frustrated because I cannot explain things, but it remembers me a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Excellent. Yeah. Do you like this kind of climate?
I think for a few days or few weeks it's nice, but for maybe 6 or 10 months it's going to be hard to live, you know, but you can learn. So
it's very hard.
But, yeah, I can imagine that.
All right, terrific. Well, this is what you're seeing here, guys, by the way, is snow that's fallen and it's sticking to the trees. This only happens when there's no wind and a certain type of snow falls. It's very beautiful. All right, thank you very much. Denelson, let's try Edson again. Edson, are you there? Earth to Edson.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can, sir. Go ahead. Tell us what comes to mind when you see this image.
Yes, it's a good place for me at least to live because, you know, if I could, I would be there right now because in my country now it's really hot and I love cold. And yes, cold is pretty good for me. And remember as well, once when I was in New York, I was celebrating New Year in Manhattan, in a place with snowing, and I just take some snow and start playing with some other guys who I met in Manhattan. It was really really fun that day. And another place that I've been was in another city near my city here. It's called São Roque, where there is a place to skiing. And I don't know how is nowadays, but past 5 years ago, it was possible to ski because they put some kind of ices. But however, that day I was skiing and I didn't notice that my hands and my elbow, yes, ice,
Ice.
yeah, and my elbow and my hands were getting hurt because they were burning because of the ice, of course. But at the end, yes, frostbite. Because in the end it was really, really okay with me. And
Thank you very much, Edson. All right, now for a little bit of a story. Let me show you guys something here. Da, 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 da. Here we go. A slightly harsher climate here. This was a few years ago. So you can see, look at all this. This is the water that's frozen on the trees, and it was raining. But when the rain hit the ground, it instantly froze. And you see how much water is here. So if we take a look at some other images, now this was taken a few days later, you can see the amount of ice covering everything. And so if we look at some other pictures here, like this one here, you can just see everything. The ground, the trees, houses, vehicles are covered in ice. It
Simon,
rained for 3 days straight. It's called an ice storm.
what was the temperature in that time?
It was around zero, the freezing mark. But how it happens is it's warm enough in the atmosphere, but the ground is cold. The ground is cold. So it comes down as rain and then freezes when it hits the surface. And it rained for 3 days straight. And a lot of people lost power. I'll show you some pictures in the daylight. And then afterwards, after the 3 days, it was about -15 for weeks and weeks. Trees look like they're made out of glass. All right. Well, let's get back to letting you guys speak. You know, I'm going to stick with snow, but I'm going to change up the image of snow. Slight difference here. So next we have Carolina. Carolina, what comes to mind when you see this image?
I see a beautiful place. Maybe that place is in the mountain, in the top of the mountain. And I wish I wanna be there because I love that kind of landscape. So for me, it's easy to spend my time inside the house, maybe with drinking hot chocolate. And if I had a good company, it could be better for me, because maybe if my family comes or my boyfriend, we can spend our time hanging out together. And also I see a beautiful sky, and I see that the forest is frozen. Maybe it was a storm of snow, so maybe it's a little bit scary. And also I am thinking in doing a snow, how can I say, doll?
Sorry, snow.
Doll is the oh my god, the bow, oh, snow is the oh, se me olvidó. One moment, I am looking.
Try. And so this would have been a large or heavy snowfall. You can see the trees are covered in a lot of snow, probably wet snow. It's very deep. You can see around the house. You can actually barely see the first level of the house. It's that there's a lot of snow.
Yeah, man. But I was thinking about doing the doll with the snow, with a carrot in her nose, and
Oh, snowman.
a snowman. Yes, that
Yeah.
is the word.
All right, Carolina. Thank you very much. Now we go to Carlos. Carlos, tell us what you see in your mind's eye.
Okay. I am not talk very optimist. I think in these places happened a storm. Maybe there are people into the house and there's can't go out because the snow cover the first floor. So the leader of that group try to communicate with outside, or it's impossible because the storm damaged the lines of telephones. So maybe the city, the most New York City is less 1 hour far away, so they need to wait that the snow disappear, unless try to open some windows. And the problem is that it happened 2 days ago, and the food is not enough for those people. And also the air conditioner doesn't work. So the feel the word that they feel is completely bad for their health, and they try to do a fire. Okay.
Thank you, Carlos. So in the winter, we don't use an air conditioner. We would use a furnace or heater or a heating unit. But generally, we have what is considered a furnace.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, next we go to, I see somebody snuck in, Keiko.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Excellent. Excellent, Keiko. I'm curious, when you look at this image, what you think about. Care to share with us?
It is a beautiful landscape. The environment is snowy. The roof of the house and the soil, the trees are totally covered by snow. The weather is very cold. It is totally different from the the weather where I live, but I can imagine that in this house there is a family reunited in the night of Christmas, that will light candles and the fireplace to celebrate, to eat and drink, to sing, to celebrate this special night. Maybe the children are dreaming, will dream, will sleep and dream about Santa Claus coming in his sled, pulled by rain
Reindeer?
reindeers, by reindeers, and entering through the chimney to bring them gifts.
Wow. I mean, what a beautiful picture. Yeah, I mean, we are coming up to Christmas. It's almost a month away, guys. Can you believe that? Christmas is almost a month away. 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Great way to transition. All right, Anna. It's your turn, Anna.
Same picture?
Yeah. So we've all been talking about the weather. Keiko just started talking about the Christmas season. So yeah, whatever comes to mind when you see the image, go ahead, please.
Okay, my classmates had brought up everything about this picture, I guess. What comes to my mind, I'd like to see snow at least once because I've never seen in my life. There is a family there celebrating Christmas, children sleeping, it had snowed before, the Christmas is coming, there are pine trees covered with snow, someone wishes to make a snowman or some snowballs. What else can I say? It is a harsh temperature, a cold weather.
How does it make you feel?
I curious to experience snow.
You've never experienced snow?
No, I told you right now. I've never seen snow in my life.
Have you ever opened a freezer?
Sure.
Does it feel cold?
Yes, of course.
Now imagine opening your front door and feeling that.
Okay.
Only it being much colder.
All right.
That's what it feels like at this time of year.
Okay, but I've never touched snow and I've never built a
Have you touched
snowball.
ice?
Yes, but it is slippery and cold and hard, and snow is soft, I guess.
Well, it appears that way,
And,
but believe it or not, snow is made out of the exact same material as ice.
but people tell me that there are different kinds of snow, and it's not slippery.
Not fresh snow. Well, some snow, when it hits the ground, yes, it can be very slippery. We have lots of car crashes because of that. It's not as slippery as ice, but snow is just simply ice crystals. So yes, it is slippery. Much more slipperier than rain. So it does have a slippery index. All right, guys, I'm looking for another image here. Let's see. Oh, is it too early? No, it's not. It's Keiko's fault because he got me thinking about this. I know, I've got the image there, but I didn't know I was going to bring it up. I want to tell you guys something. So we're about halfway through right now. I'm going to stop at 55 because I have another class right after this. It's a conversation class. Now, I like to use topics that are very current, but also are sensitive in nature, but they're topics we talk about. So I think it's very important to have these conversations. All of you guys are always very respectful. You guys do not swear. You're not hurtful to others. So we can easily discuss these kind of topics. But in my next class, the conversation topic is going to be related to hate. There was an event in Paris recently, and that type of event was caused by hate. So we'll have a discussion. Why is there hate in the world? Why do people hate people? What causes this feeling? And we'll have a discussion about it. What can be done about it? Why do people feel this way? Why do events like this happen? That's going to be in my next class, right after this one. Okay, so yes, it is slippery. Yes, snow is certainly slippery. So is ice is much slipperier though. All right, now to get back on topic, back onto this class, Yenny, we're back with you. Hello, Yenny from Colombia.
Okay.
All right, so before we get started, just to remind you, I've got an image here. You don't have to describe the image. What I want you to think, close your eyes, and tell me what comes to mind when you see this image with as much detail as you can. Think of a book and how a book describes the details of something. All right, you've got 2 minutes. Let's go ahead, Yenny.
Okay, thank you. So what comes to my mind is a Christmas celebration with my family, and I like the gold tree because that's mean for me there is a magic celebration to remember, and there's no fall. I see that like kind of fantasy or
Imagination.
Mm-hmm. And what else?
As a little girl, what did you think about Christmas?
Christmas is the best month of the year because even atheist people celebrate Christmas in the whole world celebrate Christmas, and that means that one day a savior comes to the world. So there is a good time to remember.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Much better this time. Well done.
Thank you.
Raphael, sir, hello.
Hello.
I keep forgetting how late it is there because in the winter, my winter, there's 3 hours difference between my time and your time, but in the summer there's only 1 hour.
Exactly, because we are 1 hour ahead. We are 1 hour early, I think.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind when I book my classes, but having a son, I can't really start too early, you know what I mean?
I know, I understand.
All right, Raphael, 2 minutes. Let's see what you can describe for us.
It reminds me a little bit when I was a child. We used to reunite our family together, and we had a great time. talking and remind me things of our childhood and remind me good thoughts about almost everything in our lives because we don't have opportunity to meet throughout the year because everyone has responsibilities, have duties. Some people live too far from us, and it's quite complicated to reunite the family. But when we are joined together, it's a good. There are good moments to remind and to to meet people who separated from such a long time. Um, Lately, just the close friends are. Since we are getting older, unfortunately, several people start to take their own journey apart, and we don't have to. We start losing contact with them. So, throughout years, the number of people has decreased who joined together, but it's still a good time as I explained, a good time to join people and try to gain some weight as well because we eat a lot of groceries and lots of food, turkey and
I love turkey.
a lot. But anyway, there is always a new year to lose everything for the next year. So it's a cycle that comes to an end, and we're just part of it.
What timing, and your cycle of speaking has come to an end briefly. Thank you,
Sorry?
Raphael. You said one thing about friends that we've lost touch with. It's very similar to another word I'd like to discuss called acquaintances. It's somebody who was a friend that you've known but you've kind of lost touch with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's something we lose touch and we no longer have contact with them. It's due to several reasons.
Yeah, sad. But it happens. All right, thank you, Raphael. Manolo, what can you tell us? What story can you tell us from this image?
Well, first of all, I think is from us in a far country. So here, I think the Christmas tree we normally build with wool because to remind us as a snow. So it's very funny from our culture here, and it's very funny for you guys that live in the north. Well, second of all, I think I always remind me the movie Home Alone.
Oh,
because
yes.
I used to see this movie when I was very young. So I remember this, and it's impossible to not think about New York. I think for me will be it's a dream to stay in New York in a Christmas and New Year's Eve. So remind me. I think it's a desire to have Christmas in this place, and I think I feel comfortable in this atmosphere.
Thank you very much, Manolo. All right, Edson, you're up next. Again, I'm looking for a story. Tell me a story from your imagination or from your childhood based on this image.
It reminds me once when we were opening our gifts after midnight on Christmas, and then I realized that I had gained electric guitar because it was my dream to get one. And then, for unfortunately for everybody, nobody could sleep at that day because even though I didn't know how to play the guitar, later my brother-in-law taught me how to play. And that day was a very crazy day for me because I turned on the amplifier and then I started playing the guitar. Everybody wanted to kill me, but they couldn't because I didn't mind. I didn't care about anybody there at that time. It was just my dream. I get excited and I play. By the way, even my neighborhood was pretty difficult to deal with that situation because it was not just at home, but my neighbors were bored with that situation. But just for 1 hour, even or even less, a little less. I don't remember exactly now. But that I was playing, and the following day, the afternoon, I tried to play again. And but that at that time it was okay. It was, but they enjoyed the some songs that I tried to play, and my brother-in-law helped me.
Well, thank you very much, Edson. Yes, Christmas time. Sometimes we have trouble sleeping. Sometimes because people get a drum set or a guitar and want to practice and play. Other times just because we're excited about the food, the festivities. And of course, the nice thing about Christmas is within a week we have another big holiday, and that's New Year's Eve. So there's a lot going on this time of year. All right, thank you very much. Denelson, tell us a story from your past that you're reminded of from this image.
Okay, I will do a combination between the last picture that you showed before and this one. I mean, if I had enough money, I would buy the house that you showed before to us before to spend my next vacations, probably the Christmas holidays, because when I was a child, I used to watch a lot of movies, Christmas movies, and we could see a lot of snow, Santa Claus, a lot of things, but in the reality here in Brazil, we only see like sun and the Santa Claus. I cannot hear the clouds. How can I say that? The dress because it's too hot. So, and I remember I asked a lot of times my father because it's different. I watch the movie on TV, but in the reality, it's too different. It's a lot of difference. And today it's happened with my kids. They watched the movie about Santa Claus, snow, but it's totally different. For example, November, December here in Brazil, we don't have snow, don't have nothing, but we have Christmas holidays. So it's difficult sometimes to explain for small children like my son, like 5 years old. So it's funny and complicated a little bit. And if I had enough money, I would buy this house to have the opportunity to show him this is what you see on TV. So that would be fun.
Well, I can tell you a house like that would be very cheap because it's not in a major city. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Trust me, you could afford that house in Canada.
Good.
Yeah, it's hard to relate to children sometime of these movies and these settings and these stories, but it's also kind of fun for them to watch it. For me, each Christmas, the three movies that I really like are A Christmas Vacation, and actually, some of you are going like, I don't know what that movie is, but I've got something here, and I'll play a bit of the soundtrack for you. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is. You guys should be able to hear this.
It's that time, Christmas time is here. Everybody knows.
And that's the sound, or the theme, or sorry, the piece of music you hear at the start of this movie. And it's a Christmas favorite. It was made probably about 20, 30 years ago, called Christmas Vacation. Another classic movie that I like, much older, called It's a Wonderful Life. And even before that, or after that, I think 1953, is A Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge, you've probably heard of that character. So 3 favorite movies for Christmas time. All right, Carolina, it's your turn. Tell us a story. Tell us a story.
I love the time of Christmas because here in Colombia we have special meetings with our family, our friends. We start actually on December 7th. We have a special tradition, and every house lit a candle outside the house, because it's a kind of a tribute to the Maria, the mother of Jesus. So we start our Christmas with that special day, and then we celebrate a kind of, I don't know how can I say, but 9 days after 24, we start to we reunite with our family and our friends, and we pray some kind of prayers for God, and also the children's sing carols, a lot of carols, and then come 24 is coming, so many gifts for children and also for our families. I think that for me this time is my special time, because I can meet with my family that do not live here in Bogota. So for me it's really special.
Sounds wonderful. It is a great time of meeting together with family and friends, reuniting with acquaintances old and new. It's a time of year where almost everybody has the time off, and I love that about it.
Yes, I have to work, but I will take 2 or 3 days.
Wonderful. I hope you enjoy. And I will be off for 2 weeks, but what that means is Simon's going to be teaching classes throughout the holidays. And what I like to do is for New Year's Eve, I like to ring in the New Year's across the world. So I might start off earlier in the evening, and then for each one of us it becomes New Year's. That's something I'd like to do again this year. And maybe I'll do a Christmas Eve, and we'll have a movie class. We'll talk about Christmas movies. So stay tuned.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Carlos, tell us a story from your past based on this image that you see.
Okay, this image reminds me that time of Christmas. It's very common here or with my family. We share gift for everybody. What it means? 2 weeks before Christmas Day, we prepare or we go shopping. It have to be the complete weekend. So we accuse him to do a gift for parents, for sisters, for grandmothers, for friends, also from the bus. And it's very common to spend a lot of money in that. Um, for example, in my case, I used to buy some gift in November. In November because I take advantage of their discount, some discount, and also in Black Friday in the United States, it's possible to buy some or to find some bargains by internet. Mm,
Black Friday's coming up.
right. And also there are some people that buy them bought that kind of gift months ago. I mean, since August, since September, because the charge is too expensive. Um, and the families have to prepare enough budget, for example, for a Christmas dinner.
Thank you very much, Carlos. Kiko, it's your turn. 2 minutes to describe or to tell us a story based on this image from your past. Go ahead, please.
This boreal forest with this golden Christmas tree reminds me very times with my family that I have passed, that I have been passing throughout along my life. I have been passing along my life with my family. The Christmas Eve. These occasions are very nice because we can reunite all the family, converse, making jokes, exchange gifts, and have the Christmas meal in community. It is very nice. It is a very nice time. We can also have a time to pray the God, to thank the God for all the good things that occurred along the year. And we celebrate the coming of Jesus, that as we are Catholic people, we have a special love for Jesus, who we believe is our Savior.
Thank you, Carlos. And in English, we say Jesus. And I know if you speak Spanish, it's harder because it's Jesus in Spanish. And I know you speak Portuguese, so it's a little different. All right, thank you very much, Keiko. Last but not least, we have Anna. Anna, tell us a story about your past, reminiscent of this image of Christmas.
Okay. And when I was a child, I used to celebrate sorry, to celebrate Christmas with my cousins, my uncles, my aunts, my parents, and we used to go to my aunt's house. It was a huge mansion in an old-fashioned neighborhood in my hometown, Rio de Janeiro, and my uncle used to wear a mask like a monster to scare us and play and so forth. And we knew he was a monster, because when each time the monster would appear, would not, he wouldn't have been in the same room. But then they hired someone to be Santa Claus. So we used to believe in Santa Claus, okay, because everybody was there. And then one day it dawned on me that it was a fantasy, and Santa Claus was someone else wearing a costume. But I carried on pretending that I believed, because this way I could ask for the gifts I'd like to earn, you know, and they could not give me any excuse.
I remember back to when I believed in Santa Claus too, and at the age of 5, I was told by elder kids he didn't exist anymore. So at that point, I no longer believed in the fantasy of Santa Claus, although he is based on a true character indeed. Well, guys, thank you very much for attending this class. Describe what you see, which is more than describe what you see. It's more describe what you see in your mind's eye. My next class coming up now, it's 8 o'clock Eastern Time, or 11 o'clock if you're in Brazil. Like I said, it's going to be a serious conversation. The main topic is going to be hate. Why do people hate other people? What causes bad things to happen in the world? And we're going to talk a little bit about what happened in Paris, and that'll lead us to talking about other parts of the world. So that's coming up in about 4 minutes. I do have to go now because I need to get some water from my throat and just do some stretching so I'm ready for another class. I don't know if I'm teaching tomorrow or not. It depends on how well my son is. I'll probably, if I am teaching tomorrow, I'll post it online tomorrow. Guys, thank you very much, and I hope I can see you guys in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. See you soon.